Welcome back to Truth Matters. We dig into the stories behind the headlines. I'm your host, David, and today we're tackling a question that's on everyone's mind. What does it really mean now that the United States has gotten into the Iran war? That's right, after years of tension, the US has launched direct military strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities, including Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan. This isn't just another headline. This is a game changer for the Middle East and the world. So, what happens next? What are the risks? And what does this mean for you and me? Let's break it down. For years, the US and Iran have been locked in a tense standoff, mostly through sanctions, cyber attacks, and proxy wars. But now, the gloves are off. President Trump announced the strikes as a way to eliminate Iran's nuclear threat, even though Iran wasn't actively attacking the US or its allies at the time. This is what experts call a preventive strike, and it's a big deal. So, what happens right after a move like this? First, Iran has promised retaliation, and they have the means to do it. US troops and bases in the Middle East are on high alert. The Strait of Hormuz, that narrow waterway where a huge chunk of the world's oil passes through, is now a potential flashpoint. If Iran decides to block the strait or attack oil infrastructure, it could send shockwaves through the global economy. The world is watching, and not everyone is happy. The United Nations, the Arab League, and even countries in Latin America have condemned the US strikes. The UN Secretary General called it a dangerous escalation and warned of a real risk that things could spiral out of control. So the stakes? They're sky high. This move sets a new precedent. The US is now using military force against a country's nuclear program based on suspicion, not hard evidence of an imminent threat. That's controversial. Some experts warn this could encourage other countries to act the same way, making the world a more unstable place. Plus, it's causing rifts within the US government and with its allies. Some say this undermines America's credibility in future negotiations and could push other countries to seek their own nuclear weapons. Here's the million-dollar question. Can this conflict be contained, or are we headed for a bigger war? Iran has powerful allies and proxy networks in Yemen, Iraq, and Lebanon. If they decide to hit back, the US has promised to respond with even more force. The risk of an escalatory spiral is real, but there's still a narrow path for diplomacy. The US and its partners could use these strikes as leverage to push for new negotiations, maybe offering to ease sanctions if Iran agrees to halt its nuclear program and stop supporting proxy groups. But that's a big if. You might be thinking, this is happening halfway around the world. Why does it matter to me? Well, a wider war in the Middle East could affect everything from gas prices to global security. It could drag in more countries, disrupt trade, and put civilians at risk. In short, this isn't just a distant conflict. It could impact your everyday life. So, there you have it. The US is now at war with Iran, and the world is holding its breath. Will this lead to a new era of conflict, or can diplomacy pull us back from the brink? That's the question we'll all be watching in the days and weeks ahead. If you want to hear more about the behind-the-scenes stories of global events, criminal trials, or even weird science, be sure to subscribe to Truth Matters on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And if you're watching on YouTube, check out our Stuff I Never Knew playlist for more surprising facts and stories. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, stay informed and remember, truth matters.